Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Yours truly, Andrew Omufirika, and we are in election season. I'm going to try my best to make a video every day. This is the Uganda Awakening. Today we are talking about the Kira Municipality Aspirant. Musisi. Yeah, Musisi, my father, my dad, his name is Musisi. So I respect this man. He's like my dad. He is contesting for the Kira Municipality Member of Parliament, going up against Semujju Nganda. This is why I take his response to every critique of the National Unity Platform that is out there questioning why they did not give cards to some entitled individuals. Yeah, legacy opposition members like Segona. Why the hell did you not give Segona a party card? It seems to be the headline maker in this incident of individuals that were left out, that were never given a party card to contest in the next general elections to become members of parliament again. Now, you must know, this man Segona, just like Semujju Nganda, have been in parliament for quite a while. So the audacity of the National Unity Platform in making sure that they are not going to be their flag bearers in the upcoming elections has caused quite a debate across social media. I was looking through who has been the most vocal when it comes to this subject, and I stumbled upon one of those people like Semujju Nganda, hands down, when it comes to eloquency, when it comes to putting a point across, when it comes to his presence in parliament. I'll have to admit, there's quite a few people that can match him when it comes to the affairs of the parliament. So his experience in the house is something that we cannot question. But there is one thing that we have to look out for. Why is he mad? Let me read to you what Semujju Nganda said on this matter. Kira Municipality Member of Parliament Semujju Nganda has sharply criticized the National Unity Platform NUP for the decision to exclude Busiro East MP Medard Segona from the party's ticket for the 2026 general elections. Speaking on Radio Simba's FM talk show on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, Semujju Nganda called the move a blunder and questioned why a key national leader like Segona was sidelined. Now, before I give you the response from George Musisi, before I get into his response, this is the Uganda Awakening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know. I'll be giving you as many updates in regards to what is happening in Uganda, the election process in 2026. All these critics of the National Unity Platform, the elites have been so mad. The elites are mad. What I mean by the elites, those people who think that by changing our country, we are going to rely on so much knowledge. Everyone has to have a master's. Everyone has to come up at a standard of those that are well known in the status quo, whether in the opposition or the NRM government. Those people who are well read, the ones that we are indebted to in terms of who we should respect in the corridors of power. And Segona fits the bill because Semujju Nganda said Uganda, the nation, loses and a person of his caliber if he does not come back to parliament. That what does that even mean? So the elites are up in arms. They are having a field day. It is their chance for them to criticize the National Unity Platform for having the audacity to not give a party card to Segona. So I like the response of George Musisi, my father. Musisi starts by giving us examples of members of parliament like Miriam Matembe, Hussein Chanjo, Winnie Kiza, individuals who served incredible voices, credible voices in parliament who served their time in parliament and left and did not contest again. He asks a question. Did they suddenly become irrelevant simply because they left parliament? Did they suddenly become irrelevant? Miriam Matembe, everyone knows Miriam Matembe. In fact, I would argue Miriam Matembe's voice, ever since she left parliament, has a lot more weight than so many of these individuals that are stuck in parliament, that have served for more than 3 terms in parliament and are still contesting right now to become members of parliament, despite the fact that their role in parliament is not even of any significance to what the likes of Hussein Chanjo did in just 1 term in parliament. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Some of you do not even know the members of parliament of you only remember the names of the members of parliament when they come back to contest. Because after you give them your vote, you never even hear from them. They think that buying an ambulance and just leaving it there is enough. First and foremost, who told you that even members of parliament are the ones supposed to even be buying ambulances? It is just because we are working in a broken system. The institutions are on the ground. I wouldn't even just say a desperation. I don't want to reduce the importance of an ambulance in these areas, because at the end of the day, members of parliament do anything they have to do to make sure they not only get the votes, but there are those who buy ambulances and they genuinely care about the people, because government is not doing a fair bit in their areas to have these ambulances, to have accessibility to these services. So kudos to those. Not everyone that buys an ambulance in their region is just up to no good. I want to caveat that. I want to respect that, because we work in an environment where the institutions are not operating adequately to ensure that there is guaranteed accessibility to services like health services. Schools are well equipped. Teachers are paid on time. Yes. But at the end of the day, in a normal democracy, members of parliament have no business doing these kind of things. So he says, you know what? You might think that you are the first person of this credibility in terms of how much you have studied. Yes, Segona, you might think that you're the first. But there was just so many before you that have since left these positions. It reminds me of a statement Waiswa Mufumbiro made one day when in an interview he was asked why he joined Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu in the fight for freedom. I remember he stated that all his time in the DP, because he was also the deputy spokesperson, I think, in DP, in Democratic Party. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he had a position in the Democratic Party. He was giving reasons as to why he joined the National Unity Platform. And Waiswa Mufumbira said, and I quote, "All my time, my experience in the opposition, it is only after I joined the National Unity Platform that I ever got to be in a meeting whose agenda and strategy was to remove Yoweri Kaguta Museveni through the electoral process." That tells you a lot. All his experience. Waiswa Mufumbiro. Why am I giving you this example? All his experience as a member of the opposition via the Democratic Party, he had never been in any meeting where the agenda was to lay strategy on how to remove Museveni out of power. So all these Segonas with all this experience that they have had, all the good English, the Semujju Nganda, with how much they know, I want to remind you, Ugandans are not looking for how much you know. Ugandans are hungry for change. They are not looking for good English. That time is up. They are not looking for somebody who is, I have this record in parliament, I am the one who is so eloquent. No, eloquency has its place. when you're negotiating on behalf of the people to ensure that they attain good services, it has its place. But when it comes to the affairs of the Ugandan people and the purpose of reclaiming the power in their vote, that they can vote and decide who their next president is, it does not require good English. They want to have free and fair elections. And if Museveni retains his seat through free and fair elections, so be it, without interruption from the police. If indeed Museveni retains that seat as the president of Uganda, let it be through free and fair elections. That's what Ugandans are looking for. And if indeed that environment is conducive, that they also advocate for change, and in the event of doing so, Museveni is no longer the president of Uganda and their president of choice becomes the president, that is what Ugandans are looking for. So this business of guilt-tripping Ugandans and giving us the CV, we know the CV of Segona. Everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows. At the end of the day, we cannot forget Segona's attitude when Mpuga was implicated. When he was found out in that 500 million bribery saga, we all know, we watched the likes of Bagala failing to become decisive on that matter. Regardless of the fact that, yes, Mpuga was once the leader of opposition, he's a seasoned politician, regardless of that, Ugandans watched. There was intense scrutiny when it came to how the party handled the Mpuga saga. Every chance was given to this man to return the money, to come clean, to adhere to the principles of the National Unity Platform. And then the likes of Segona could not even become decisive during this matter. Even Semujju Nganda, a respected politician, when it came to the comments that these people made during that saga. You cannot sit back and pretend that while opposing the ruling government on the principle of overstaying in power, while also doing the same. Being a member of a parliament, year in, year out, every time you just want to be a member of parliament, then a man from the ghetto comes out of nowhere, becomes a member of parliament, not even for a full term because he won a by-election, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the people's president. It is not even comfortable to remain in that position for another full term as a member of parliament, because he would have decided, okay, yeah, well, let me just respect these people who have been in this game longer than I have, to nominate at least one presidential candidate, and then we would go with that while I vie for another term of office in parliament for Chadondo East. That is the attitude. He discovered that you lot were not serious. You lot were just comfortable in those positions. If you really were on business, standing on business, you are the one supposed to be giving out a card to Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu because you have upgraded, you upgraded, and now are in positions to challenge the main man because you have the experience. Your experience amounts to nothing if your attitude is to safeguard that position. I should actually do a video about the insecurity of these politicians who hold on to these positions like their entire lives depend on it. There are so many factors that make it impossible for these people to upgrade. Why should it be the only place for you to influence the affairs of the country? There are so many things that you can be doing for Ugandans outside the parliament. This gives us a chance for the likes of Honorable Musisi right now, who is vying for, for the same position as Semujju Nganda. We need new blood. We need fresh ideas. We need the attitude of everyone in the house, especially on the opposition, to be aligned with the sole mission of removing Museveni. Otherwise, you just want to be accessories forever and ever. That is what Ugandans are looking for. We need to refresh this country's leadership and drain the swamp. It is no longer business as usual. Yes, Ugandans are waking up and they know they can see through your double standards. They can see it. You're just tailors of the naked emperor and you've just run out of fabric, and we are here for it. We are here for it. Come 2026, protest vote. Vote for my father, Musisi, George Musisi. Yeah, I loved his response to the critics. He has so many talking points. I couldn't play the full video because I didn't want this to be too long. But remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Uganda Awakening. If you want a part 2 of George Musisi, the people of Chanja, you know whom to vote for. This man is solid. And everyone out there should know that Museveni is not the only person that has to leave those positions, that position as president. He has so many enablers, including many in the opposition that have been undressed since the emergence of the ghetto gladiator, the one Bobby Wine. That is true. Yeah. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. In my last video, I talked so much about the reasons why people still support Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I feel like I should continue in this series. I would have loved to expound on so many of why people still support him, because let's have it right. What is Museveni going to do in the next 5 years that he has not been able to do? The lie of protecting the gains. How can we debunk this? I should go through the manifesto of the National Unity Platform as well. So many people have been speaking on it, especially on TikTok. I think I should react to some of those videos. But let me know, what do you think about this video? Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get it.
Don't go ahead.